When you hear how Emily was treated, according to her, in the first 24 hours after her alleged sexual assault, what does that say about the Austin Police Department and how they handle these cases?
You know, over 100 women have called us since the lawsuit was filed. So I've heard many stories. And unfortunately, there's a common thread in all of them, which is that the women felt disbelieved or dismissed, or like their case didn't matter, or they never got calls back.
Why do you think the district attorney's office decided not to prosecute this case?
I think there are a few reasons. I think the first is by refusing to even take it to a grand jury in the first place, Emily's case doesn't show up in the DA's numbers as a case that they were referred or dismissed or declined. It's a case that never gets past the police department, so it gets exceptionally cleared there, and it never shows up on the statistics for the DA. I think prosecutors like to bring other cases more because they're easier. I also think that in none of those other types of cases are the victims all women, essentially. And here, 91% of victims are female, and these are the only cases that don't get prosecuted once there is probable cause, and the case has essentially been solved for the DA to take.
So when you hear that the district attorney's office here decided that this case isn't provable beyond a reasonable doubt, they say, what's your response to that?
I mean, my response is, if you can't prove a case with circumstances like that, what case can you ever prove? This wasn't a case where it was he said, she said. This was a case where there was physical evidence, there was physical harm brought to bear on Emily. She told her story. It was consistent with what the detective found when he got to the site at which she was abducted and held. And the perpetrators had criminal backgrounds, one for murder, and he lied about ever knowing her before the DNA forced him to acknowledge it. I mean, I don't know what more could have been present for that case to have survived in front of a jury.